I figured that one was fitting since maybe that's not the war that's ending, but a war ended, so we'll run with that one.
A war ended?
Yeah.
What's been going on?
Oh, you didn't see? Trump negotiated a land deal with a bunch of Jews, a lifelong New York real estate developer making a land deal with Jews. Go figure.
Yeah, you got to build those skills somehow.
Yeah. So anyway, that brought about an end to the Gaza Israel war.
For now.
All of the
Oh, you there? I lose you or you lose me? Okay. I'm going to assume we lost Justin, and hopefully he'll be back. Oh, God, you guys know how nervous and terrified I get when I'm left alone on here. Let's see. Oh, you got it?
Can you see me? Sorry.
Yeah. Good. I was just about out of Vampage.
I'm switching my... I'm going to glitch out for just a second. I'm switching over to my hotspot.
Yeah, do your thing. Let's see, I guess we're talking about ending a war. I've got a video that has to do with starting a war.
Okay. I should be back. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I see you. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, before I play that video, then we're still on the one topic. So is this like a for sure thing, or is this like another one of these?
Yeah. The hostages were exchanged, and
get out.
They're doing like a peace summit in Egypt today. Like, all the Israelis like booed Bibi Netanyahu and cheered for Trump. Like, I guarantee you that never happened for literally Hitler. I would be willing to bet Israelis never.
Wow, man. I really have been out of the loop this week. Yeah, once they do the hostage switcheroo, that's kind of the big.
Yeah, that's because that's all of your leverage right there. Once you send them back, then it's like, what's the point? Now we gotta go get more hostages. Like, fuck all that.
We got a couple stashed away we didn't tell anybody about. Oh shit. So I guess this was from 2015, actually. This is at a Texas high school. I know, I'm pulling up videos of high school. The cheerleader routine. Again, not creepy at all. Now, I haven't actually watched this whole thing yet. We're going to be going into this together. But basically, it's a 9/11.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. The victims were in airplanes, were in their offices, secretaries, businessmen, military,
fucking reenacting it, dude.
Moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong.
I guess that's supposed to be the Pentagon.
I was going to say, the one in the bottom corner, that had to be the Pentagon getting hit.
Terrorist attacks have shaped the foundations of our biggest buildings.
They're going to rise like a phoenix
but
that
they
day.
cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. America is targeted for a
Crowds into it.
the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world. And no one will keep that light from shining.
I mean, you do that routine anytime from 2001 to 2008, and you're guaranteed to win that competition. Like, nobody's not giving you, like, now as soon as Obama won, then everything changed. But up to that, maybe till 2007, Yeah, I think in 2000 there was a lot of things that made people kind of turn on Bush, but
there was a South Park episode. It was really great. It's with Jared Fogle, the Subway guy, and he had AIDS, but he meant AIDS. He had assistants that helped him get thin, a personal trainer and a dietitian. But he kept telling him, "Oh, I got AIDS, and that's why I got thin and this and that." And it's a whole thing. And then everybody laughs about it. And they go, "Wait a minute, AIDS isn't supposed to be funny." And they're like, "Oh, it's been 23.7 years. That's the exact scientific amount of time it takes for a tragedy to become funny." And I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 21, 23, something like that. So we have to have passed that point for 9/11 now. So, I definitely see a lot of memes, and they're not even like groaners. It's just funny, So we've hit that point. 2015 wasn't that point yet, but again, they weren't being funny. They were being a very serious Texas tribute.
That was a very serious Texas tribute. Never forget, and even if you have to remember in a cheerleading routine. When they hoisted the girls up and had them with their arms out like planes going like the planes, it's like, oh shit, they're doing this for real.
Yeah, I'd heard about the reenactment routine, and I'm like, I didn't know what to expect. I guess that's what I should have expected, but I didn't even know what to envision. A couple towers of some sort, obviously. Oh yeah, good times.
That was impressive.
Yeah. So went out this morning, and the goats were back. My neighbor's goats. Remember the goat saga had pretty much come to an end. They kept them. I'm actually extremely impressed that I hadn't seen them again until now, because it's been weeks now. That they were actually able to contain them. I expected to see them back several times.
For anybody who doesn't have goats, like the fact that they've managed to keep them contained for a couple weeks is pretty impressive, because those fuckers find any way they can to get out.
Yeah, and then I'd fixed up my fence a little, my outer fence, because it was a little dilapidated and then causing them to get in. And it still needs work, but I guess I was pleased enough with myself that they didn't break through my fence either. Poor neighbor. I saw her go to work and see him, but she's pretty embarrassed by the whole situation, which is understandable, but she doesn't need to be so, hard on herself. But it's Columbus Day. Do kids go to school today? Is it Columbus Day? It's some stupid day.
Columbus Day is only like officially a holiday that stuff closes for in like the state of Tennessee.
Oh. Huh.
Which is interesting. But I know
banks close here.
But in the state of Tennessee, the governor has the option to make the Friday after Thanksgiving the official offices closed day instead of Columbus Day, if he so chooses.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. That's way more of like a holiday, Yeah. Sorry, I'm not one of the people who like bitches about Columbus, but I also like don't give a fuck about Columbus Day. Like, I don't know. Am I supposed to? I don't know. It's retarded. Sorry, not into the show. That's just, whenever I go to the bank on Columbus Day, which is every fucking year, I end up having to go to the bank on Columbus Day for some gay reason, and it's closed. Then I'm like, fuck Columbus.
Thanks for finding any reason.
That colonizer, fuck him. Ruining my banks. Oh, shit. Yeah. Anyhow, her son came out and got the goats, it looked like, and drove them back home. So that's good. They live to the south of me. There's probably some good border wall references and jokes we could make here. Then it's funny because all the Mexicans actually lived in the north of me, though. But, the goats are the ones causing problems, coming in, trying to impregnate my women.
Lord.
Otherwise, let's see. My dad came to visit this week, so he's staying with us right now in Wayne's old place. Had to get it all cleaned out, get the Wayne smell out of there, and cleaned it up real good.
And say, how's the visiting with the folks going out, or with the dad? I spent all of last week with my parents and my family, and I love them. And there are some things that they always drive me a little bit nuts, but it was good to be there.
You can probably relate. Yes, I'm definitely enjoying having him here and spending time with him and fixing stuff on his vehicle and stuff for him. But Jay made this great point when I mentioned this like a week ago, and he was like, "Oh man, it's amazing how much preparing for an old person to come visit is like preparing for a toddler or something, to come visit." My dad did not appreciate that joke, by the way. I told it to him. But it's like safety stuff, and oh man, I'm like, is the bed too high off the ground for you? Is the shit like that. And we need to get these handrails up, and he's physically struggling being here because there's 3 steps to get up into the Bago, and he hasn't lived in a place with steps in a year now, so he's out of shape in that regard. So it's beating him up a little bit, unfortunately. So
the physical side of it is fine, like because my dad still helps my brother on the farm, and mom does a lot of like gardening and yard work and stuff, and so they're both physically they're fine, but like especially with me and all the issues I've been having, like every time we would go out to eat, my mom and dad would just stare at me like they were waiting for me to keel over. I'm like, I'm
worried about you.
I've been doing this for a year. I know how to like not fucking die in the middle of a meal.
Eat like a duck. Just ignore me.
Well, I would. So when we would get to the restaurant, I would ask the waitress for a styrofoam cup with a lid, because inevitably what ends up happening is as I eat, the food displaces what's like other stuff that's in my esophagus, and so I get like this foamy awful shit that just like comes out. And I instead of going to the bathroom every 45 seconds to spit that stuff out, I just have them give me a cup, and then I can spit it into the cup and not have to, and then I'm fine. I can like eat more or less normally. And so, but then every time my face would start to get a little bit red, like because sometimes stuff would get lodged and I needed to give it a second to go down. They're just like, is this it? Is he going to die now? It's like, oh my gosh. Just like, give me a fucking second. And then my nephew would like climb up in my lap. He'd be like, Uncle Justin, why are you getting so red? I'm like, dude, get the fuck off of me.
Just pretend it's my dip cup. That's all.
My brother, I had one. I grabbed one out of I went back to the kitchen area at church yesterday and grabbed a cup, and they didn't have any. They had some little styrofoam cups for the coffee, but they didn't have any of the lids, so I just stuffed a paper towel down in it and went and sat back down at our pew. And my brother he gave me a dirty look. I was like, I don't have a dip in. I'm just like preparing to be in here and have this, happen. It's like, and I don't know. It's interesting. I'm ready for this shit to be over with. December.
Are we not supposed to dip at church? Is that against the rules? Is that frowned upon?
Right. I don't know. This is Kentucky we're talking about. So,
well, I think I told you guys this story before, but the Acadians, I talk about them all the time. My ancestor folk, they lived up in Nova Scotia area, and there's just nothing there, and they were like Catholic. That's like the reason they like lived there, and that was the whole reason a big reason why they got expelled and shit, because Catholics and Protestants couldn't coexist in the 1700s apparently. And so, they sent them a lot of them went to Louisiana, and they never had like, Catholics, the priest, it was the church was like, like the state and life and this and that. Right. But where they lived up in Canada, it was a very small community. They didn't really have the luxury of having like a full-time priest. It'd be more like, like our churches there's a guy who's in the community who's like a pastor or whatever. Right. And so when they went to Louisiana and France sent them like a real priest, or Spain or whatever at the time, I don't know, because there was the Louisiana Purchase thing. Anyhow, whoever was in charge, they were sending them a priest, sent them a priest, and they'd all get in trouble for like smoking in church and, coming in barefoot and shit. And they're like, what the hell? No priest's going to tell me I can't smoke in church, because not what they were used to. They weren't used to having like a preach or a priest who had like authority and rules, back home, it was just some dude. It's like, fuck off,
I remember when I was a kid, all the old men in the church smoked. And so between Sunday school and church, they would all go stand outside, out in front of the church and smoke. And then like, as you hear the organ playing, as the service is starting, they're all like stamping out their cigarettes and running back into the church to get to their pew before the service starts. And then all of them decided to quit smoking and get healthy. I'm like, what? Like, I guess their wives ganged up on them or something.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Those. Oh my God! Perfect segue.
World of puppies.
By now you should know your bitch is pregnant.
Sometimes a bitch will come earlier, sometimes a few days later.
Watch your bitch.
What is normal for your bitch?
The bitch is into heavy labor. Comforting the bitch. You want to reassure your bitch.
The bitches. Every bitch should be checked for brucellosis.
Why is it important that a bitch not be overweight?
Overweight bitches, an overweight bitch, fat bitch, and you should exercise the bitch.
Approximately how long can a bitch go?
A lot depends on the bitch.
The bitch.
The bitch is just very, very nervous. Milk the bitch, calm the bitch down, and try to milk the bitch like a cow.
Check your bitch.
Oh God, that was great.
Somebody put the perfect amount of effort into that.
Speed it up and slow it down in just the right spots. Flipped it in. Yes, that was amazing.
And you know, as much as I feel like the obvious choice was to do like a beat behind that, they made the better call doing the nice like whimsical lifestyle, the rich and famous type of music behind it, you know. Classy. That's what I'm trying to say. They kept it classy. Could have done some 2 Live crew behind that shit.
What did we miss last week? Because last week I didn't do shit. I spent most of my week hanging out with family and friends that I hadn't seen in 20 years and drinking and also drinking. And
I've been doing too much of that.
Yeah, I was not aware that I could actually hold that much alcohol with all the esophagus problems I've been having. And apparently I can still, you know what I never got choked on or had a single problem with the whole fucking week I was there? Any bourbon.
What's that?
All the bourbon went straight down, no problem. Drank it like it was nothing. Like I was a, regular alcoholic.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
That was crazy. Oh yeah, the bomb plant explosion. I mean, I guess was there something like nefarious that they suspect with that, or did it just blow up? Like I feel like if you work in an explosives plant, you should probably
in rural Tennessee. They're all smoking.
Right, you should probably feel like there's a certain level.
Ain't no foreman gonna tell me I can't smoke at work.
Certain level of risk that's involved with that job that like you assume at some point this place might blow up.
There's nothing to describe. Oh God, that sucks. How would you describe it? There's nothing to describe. It's just gone. Oh, that sucks.
It's funny. I worked next to a big natural gas plant when I was in Mississippi. And we had some stuff that got delivered to their office one day, and they had like all of the like government regulation checks and stuff, and so like you had to go through the gate and show ID and all this stuff. And so I go to the office, and I was picking up the stuff that got delivered there, and I was like, "What would happen if like this place blew up or something?" I was like, "Because this is a lot of gas, and we're like in the middle of town." He said, "Your office is like in the corner right there on that building, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "You wouldn't even see the flash." I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, he's like, "Yeah." He said, "You'd just be gone. Like, you wouldn't even realize anything happened. You'd be fine. You shouldn't worry about it." I was like, "That's really comforting." It's like, It's like there's like a 8-mile blast radius or something if this thing explodes. So it's like, holy fucking shit, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, there's like 3 zones. There's the zone where you don't know what happens, the zone where you die and it's horrible, and the zone where you're okay. You know, obviously the zone you want to be in is the furthest one out, the okay zone. But if that's not an option, you want that bullseye, buddy. I want to be sitting on top of that fucker. You know?
Yeah, when he said you wouldn't even see the flash, I was like, well, that is comforting. Like,
so it says,
although that would be crazy, just like wake up in heaven and be like, oh, well, I guess.
Yeah, that's as long as you put back together when you end up there. You know, that's the big thing. I assume they got a system for that.
It's like anybody got a replay video of this? Like, I'd like to see it.
It says debris was scattered at least a half mile, and people more than 15 miles away felt the explosion. 8-building facility, all just gone. Can't say what caused the explosion. Stuff kept blowing up, so they couldn't enter to give aid or emergency stuff. Quite you. Yeah, so it doesn't say. Guess you'd have to assume. Oh, plenty of thoughts and prayers though. It's good. Guess we have to assume accident. I mean, the products range from bulk explosives to landmines and small breaching charges, including C4. You know, officially.
Well, they don't have to worry about doing a safety training on whatever that guy fucked up.
Yeah, I don't really have to worry about much cleanup either, I guess. Well, silver linings to everything. Oh, that's shitty. I mean, dude, that is, I think about that sometimes, like some jobs, like, I mean, all jobs are inherently dangerous in the fact, like, you drive a long way to work too. It's like, well, more than likely, if you're going to die in the quote unquote line of work, it's in the car driving to or from, like in most places. So that's there for all of us. But I mean, when you work at just some place that could just, a power plant or whatever, that could just be vaporized at pretty much any minute, like, I don't know. I mean, you got to make peace with that, I guess. Probably make sure you have life insurance.
There was another facility down in Mississippi that I worked at. They had it was a grain elevator, and they had an explosion. So grain dust is highly combustible, and they had a bearing.
Talking about that.
They had a bearing overheat, and it ignited, and the dust blew. And the guy who was the superintendent of the plant at the time, he was standing next to the dump pit where the explosion happened, and he didn't get hurt, but the fireball that blew up out of the dump pit singed the hair off the back of his head, and like he was done. That was it. Like he gave his 2 weeks notice like the next day. He was like, I can't do it. Like,
there was I was thinking about because I learned about the why grain places blow up from you talking about it. And I saw something about this the other day. It was 2015 is in Taipei. And it was, I know the headline sounds insane. Water park fire. It was at a water park, but they were having a, water slides and shit. The last place you expect there to be a fire. They were having a concert though. And there was like, if you ever see like, okay, when they do like the gender reveals and the thing pops and that colored powder comes out, that's like cornstarch. Okay. So they're having this concert and they're shooting out this fucking cornstarch powder at the crowd, like the paint powder, because, oh, it's fun, ravey. Well, one of the fucking speakers, one of the monitors sparked or something and just, dude, ignited the whole fucking crowd. Like this screenshot here, like I saw a video of it. It's not pleasant. I'm not going to pull a video up, but that's what happened to the whole fucking crowd, dude. Fucking insane. I don't actually know if anybody died, to be honest. But like it says here, 508 people, 100 of them, or 199 in critical condition. They just all had horrible burns. And then if anything, some of them might've died from infection after the fact. But I don't know. I don't know the deets. They ended up closing the park.
Go back up to the thing. It says initially only patches of airborne cornstarch caught fire and extinguished almost instantly. So that's the thing about like a dust fire. Is usually the dust will disperse and it'll put itself out. So you don't really like.
Oh yeah.
But as soon as they sprayed fire extinguishers towards it, that kicked it up more and reignited it. And like, that's where they created the problem. If they'd have left it alone and just let it settle, the dust is heavy enough that it'll just put itself out. But
I didn't realize that. Yeah, then it says, them running around kicked up dust, and just the more dust you kicked up, the more it fucking burned.
Yeah, and that's so. And in a grain,
the opposite of a tire fire.
In the grain elevator, in the event of a fire, you shut down all the pneumatic systems. Anything that has air, you shut that down immediately, because the air just stirs up more dust and will cause it to to keep exploding. And that's also like in grain settings, they have a lot of restrictions on like when can you use compressed air in a facility. Like you have to do full shutdown on stuff, turn everything off before you do any blowdowns. Or if you're going to do blowdowns, you have to, it has to be like really controlled. They don't.
Look at this right here. The colored cornstarch powder, and the powder was repeatedly suspended in the air using air blowers as well as compressed gas canisters. So yeah, the exact opposite of what you're saying is supposed to happen safety wise in a situation with corn dust.
Well, and then with that, all it takes is a spark. Like,
yeah, dude, that's wild. And of course the staff, they're a fucking stage staff. They probably haven't, obviously they wouldn't be doing this if they had the safety training that you have in this exact field of corn dust. Who knew it was such a specific thing? But in the field of corn dust safety, dude, that's wild. Good to know, though. I mean, be careful with your gender reveals. Don't set the fucking pregnant mom on fire.
I've seen some of those where they do the gender reveal and it explodes.
15 of the 497 injured had died. Dang. As of the time of whatever this is. Wow. Crazy, man. Oh, we had to get on disaster talk for a minute there. Well, in other news,
a man is busted in connection to a series of X-rated graffiti drawings painted in Tempe. Police say Tanner Balangi is responsible for spray painting the phrase "penis man" on several buildings. They say the 36-year-old admitted to 2 incidents back in July and August, and other drawings are still being investigated tonight. Today marks 90 days since the state legislative session ended, and that means several new laws are now in effect. A new porn age.
That doesn't have anything to do with penis man.
Penis man. Well, speaking of, Pornhub is now shutting down in Arizona because the state requires age verification. How about that? What a weird thing to do. If you're going to require age verification, we're just going to shut down in your state. What? Okay.
Teenage boys probably is 95% of the market.
Right.
It's like Chris Griffin,
It's not even worth it to try. If we have to force them to verify their age, it's not even going to work out.
The last season or 2 of Family Guy, that is basically like Chris's whole bit is like he's there's even an episode where him and the principal are like producing porn together. Like he's like Pornhub, like that's like his thing. He masturbates, he watches porn. That's his life. Yeah.
Chris would be a decent character. Family Guy has fallen off.
It's not the same, and I know I said this, and I get flack for it, but I don't mind that. It's a very different show, but it's darker. I mean, I think if you look at it as like, it's pretty dark as to like modern, shit. Like they're not glorifying Chris being that way. I think they're just saying that's what, that's what it is. They used to be like a nice, happy, like family kind of, you know what I mean? But they're a pretty fucking broken family at this point. Like it's a lot darker than it used to be for sure. All the characters, except Stewie. Stewie's just gay as fuck, and Stewie does a lot of the main part of the show now. Stewie's pretty good, and that's just the fact because he's a gay fucking baby, which is also twisted, but
gay British baby is that
yeah,
completely American family.
Dude, there's this episode that if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's one of the newer ones where the whole episode is Stewie in like a psychiatrist's office, and the psychiatrist is of course who's the other British guy is in American Dad, Spock, not Spock, Picard, you know, that guy.
Yeah.
He's the therapist or whatever, and it's just him and Stewie, and it's really funny. It's really good. But Stewie does like his real voice. He's like, I've just been faking. Like, this is my real voice, and whatever terrible voice it is, you know, I just want to seem special. Yeah. But anyhow, enough simping for Family Guy. Yeah, no, that episode's good. I don't remember why I meant to tell you to watch it. We were having this exact same conversation a few months ago, and something came up, and I was like, oh, we just got to watch that episode. It's really funny. And I don't remember why.
I really, really love American Dad. Like, it has just continued to get better over the years. Like, they have all the shticks and the war with Santa that they had every Christmas for a while, and like
some of the jokes. Roger is just so fucking funny. Roger is just, I mean, it's so good. Yeah.
And then when Jeff gets sent to space and then comes back as a robot alien thing, and like the way they just build on stuff. And also you have just individual episodes of Tearjerker and like some of the other stuff that have their own little spots throughout the series that are not really connected to the series, but it's their own thing. Or you have the Steve musical episodes where he's doing like R&B style rap or singing throughout the like.
Let's see if they got any Keith Sweat up in this piece.
Yeah, I got American Dad. I think overtook Family Guy for me, and that's the one that I watch.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Although I did really like the new King of the Hill. I was not super optimistic, but I was going to give it a chance, and then I ended up laughing my ass off through most of the episodes. And like they incorporate some of the like the way that they incorporate the woke stuff is the same way that Family or that King of the Hill always has. It's like making fun of it and also kind of making fun of Hank, the way Hank responds to it at the same time. It's like,
yeah. In the end, Hank grows a little. They also, deter whatever. It's, it's a whole thing. But yeah, that was the show, is that, in the 1990s, whatever the new woke, thing was tossing that into Hank's world and seeing how he deals with it,
Yeah, it was really good. I was very pleased with the
like they had what's her face being like polyamorous or whatever, but Bobby wasn't okay with that, so it's like, it's the world, and then it's whatever. So,
and she kind of grows and finds out that and decides that she's not really all that okay with it either, and like they all grow as characters. And
the note she wrote to him about why he's not polyamorous material, that was so sweet. That almost made me cry. Yeah, that was precious. So yeah, it was very, very good. Yeah, very good. I liked it. I hope they come out with another season.
I've been very pleased with the Futurama, the new Futurama stuff that they've been doing too. Like they're actually doing well with some stuff, which is crazy that you have so much network television type stuff that just goes, or like the Netflix stuff. They go over the top with the gay woke propaganda bullshit, and it's like nobody wants to fucking watch that. Like, you wonder
There's
why
special your channels for that now. Let's just keep it there.
All right, you wonder why your shows fail. Like, it's not because of white supremacy or toxic masculinity that your shows are failing. It's because your shows fucking suck, and because people don't want to watch that dumb bullshit. Like. And I've talked about this before. Like, I don't care.
Bravo's for.
I don't care if your character is gay. I don't care if the character is black. I don't care if the character is what the fuck ever. As long as it's a good character. Like, I saw we talked about this a little bit in the group chat the other day. But like the Wonder Man, the new Wonder Man show is coming out. Wonderman, yeah, Wonder Man from Marvel, and. So they race swapped him. They race swapped the character, and there were a lot of people that were really mad about it. It's like, yeah, but like for this particular character, it doesn't matter if he's black or white or Asian or what the fuck ever, as long as you do the character right. And, you know, if it's a good actor and the writing is done well to portray the character the way it should be, then it's going to be good. Now, like, I watched the trailer, and the trailer, I'm not super duper optimistic, but I'm also not going into this thinking, all right, this is going to be an absolute fucking dud right out of the gate. Like, like, all right, there's some promise to this. They might actually not fuck this up, which is crazy that I'm not like, hey, they might actually do really good with this. I'm just like, they might not fuck this one up.
It might not be a total shit show.
And maybe that's what they've been doing. They've been setting the bar so low that if they just don't fuck it up, you're like, hey, success. I feel like this is like my son with high school. Like, fail everything. So then when he graduates early by not passing any classes, but just taking a bunch of packets, you're like, hey, success.
Dude, that's, you know how much it mattered in my life that I got my GED in September instead of just pretending to go to school for another year just to fail and then get my GED. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like I was working. Like, hell yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, my folks wouldn't have let me drop out before I was 18. My sister, she started going to high school like online at like 15 and ended up graduating at like 16, you know, because she just did all her stuff early, you know. But it was a different time, and you know, it's different with the second sibling, the second kid. And also my sister was much more, had her shit together than I did. You know, she wasn't like sneaking out at night. She actually had like goals in life that she wanted to achieve. So, you know, they could do that. I couldn't have done online school. You know, there was no way I would have done it, you know. So GED, get the fuck out that bitch. Go work at a warehouse. Yeah.
I did all the sports and stuff though. So like, and I didn't mind class, and I was in all the upper level, the honors class.
Yeah, now you seem like you were a good student. You're probably a good student. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was, until like second grade, I was like good. And then really once like sixth grade hit, then I started getting D's and shit. And that was not okay. Dude, the first time I brought home a B, I was like in trouble, you know. It still would have been elementary school. It's probably about second grade. I was thinking about this the other day. It was probably about second grade when the work started to get like, okay, like I fucking hate school, you know, like we had to do this thing. And like the whole school, or maybe just the whole second grade did it, but we all had to write to 1,000, 1 to 1,000. And we do like 200 numbers a day for like a week, right? So we'd write from 1 to 200 and then 200 to 400 and this and that throughout the week. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was awful. And I just get like, I don't know, dude. I write like 30 numbers and I'd start getting like this feeling in the pit of my stomach, like real tight. And like my hand would like cramp up and have to stop and like shake my hand and breathe a couple times and then start writing again. And like, I don't know, man. Maybe I had ADD or some shit. I don't know. But like, I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit, man? Can we do something I care about?
Writing numbers was causing you severe anxiety and stress.
Oh my God, dude. Well, it was dumb, right? Like maybe like in a remedial class. And then in third grade, they had me, break me and like the two other smart kids in class off to like teach other kids long division. So like the teacher taught us all long division, and the three of us that understood it then had to teach like, you know, each of us like a quarter of the class, and the teacher took like a quarter. We had to work with them to teach them fucking long division. That was cool though. But that was like, you know, that was interesting instead of just, you know.
That's funny because like I was not very good at math, and then I had the same math teacher for 5th grade and 6th grade. She the way that part of the school was, they alternated some of the kids between 5th and 6th grade teachers for different classes. And so I had the same math teacher for 5th and 6th grade. And in 6th grade, they had us take this like math test. And if you scored high enough on it, then you qualified to take pre-algebra in 7th grade, where most of the kids would take like 7th grade math. You could take pre-algebra with the like 8th graders or even some of the freshmen. And because I think in high school, it was only like pre-algebra, algebra 1, and maybe algebra 2 was all that was required. They didn't have to go all the way to geometry. And so I like just scored high enough to take it. And I was like, I don't really know about this. And the teacher talked me into it. she convinced me to take pre-algebra in 7th grade, and everything about algebra just like made fucking sense for whatever reason. And so pre-algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry, like I took it was me and one other guy took calculus our senior year. Like, nobody else had a
2-person class.
Yeah, nobody else had taken enough math credits to qualify for calculus our senior year. Just
remember, I said, calculus is like, you motherfuckers got to make me get up and come in early just to teach you two bastards.
Oh, well, that's what we did. So, because there was only 2 of us, the math teacher, he volunteered, like, we can do this as a 7 a.m. class. They can come in early. We'll do the class early for just the 2 of them, and then just give them like a free period during the day. And he got to have an extra free period like built into his day too. So
yeah, so that's a good move.
We all came in early. We had calculus at 7, and then we all got a break during the day. So that was cool.
You got to go sleep it off a little bit in the car.
I actually, the way I set it up, I set up my free period right after lunch, and then I was the teacher's aide in the machine shop for like welding and machine shop. So I would eat lunch, and then basically I had 2 back-to-back periods where I didn't have to do anything, and I had my own desk and computer in the machine shop because I did all the like designs and everything for the different class projects. Like the beginner class projects had all this stuff that they would make in the mill or on a lathe to learn the basics of how to operate the machinery. And then as they finished different stuff, there would be more complex designs and stuff for them to do. And then the upper level class, they had their own stuff as well for, more advanced stuff. So I spent all of my time at a computer just doing the designs and creating 3-dimensional, like 3D objects, and then graphing out or mapping out how to go about making it on the machine and stuff, and doing step-by-step instructions. So basically I did all of the stuff that the teacher would normally do while he walked around and made sure everybody was like not fucking up or hurting themselves. So like
the important work.
So I had my free periods, and I would just go, like, after lunch, I would go sit down at my desk and just start working on stuff. Or if I was caught up on stuff that I needed to work on for the day, then I'd play games on my computer, or I'd set up. We had a little micro mill. It was a little small CNC mill, and we had like different cuts of plastic that we would put in it. And so I would just create different designs and have it like sit there and make stuff. And so I just fuck around and like make random bullshit on this little micro mill. And we had an old dinosaur CNC, like the big CNC mill, and they would bring me like special projects. Like they had these little like covers for, how like all the schools have like the outlets in the floor.
Oh yeah.
Well, the little covers for those outlets in the floor had been like breaking off. Because they were
people desks and chairs and shit on top of them. Yeah.
And so they were like, we need new covers for these. And so they brought me one, and it wasn't anything super hard, but I programmed the big CNC mill to, you put a little piece of aluminum in there and hit start, and you'd home the mill and hit start, and then it would just cut and make the cover. Then you pop that one out, put another piece of metal in there, hit start, and it'd make another one. And so I think to this day they still use my program. Anytime one of them breaks, they just replace it. They just go throw a little piece of aluminum in that thing and crank one out and replace it. I know my flagpole was still there. They had me build a flag. They wanted a flagpole that they wanted to be able to paint the flagpole, but they didn't want to have to hire somebody to like go up and paint the flagpole. So I had to do all the math and figure out like how deep does the base need to go into the ground to support a pole.
Good thing you took geometry.
Yeah. How much, like how deep does the base need to go into the ground to support a pole that's going to go 30 feet up or whatever, however tall it was, and then designed a hinge onto it where that they could just lay it over, paint the flagpole, and then stand it back up and hook it back in place with it. And I remember the first time we had like a really bad storm. I was like, oh, this thing's going to go through the fucking building. And it didn't. And 20 years later, it's still standing there. So I succeeded. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like we go home and we'll like go by the school and I'll be like, that's my flagpole. And the kids are like, what? I'm like, I built that flag. Like, that's my flagpole. I designed that. I put that in.
Nobody ever cares.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody ever cares.
Proud to be a midget. The only thing more intense than my midget pride is my hate for tall people, or as we like to call them, biggers. Small power! Our ancestors been fighting this battle for years.
Segregation was strictly enforced in public restrooms and at water fountains. Even food was segregated.
We're the master race. God made us in his image. Right. Oh no, we don't serve your kind. Get your bigger ass out of here. We don't want your kind living around here, boy.
I've been harassed, called names. My wife was called a bigger lover. Well, that's not as bad as getting hit by a chair.
I don't even remember what these are. I just put them. I've got a folder for stuff to show on the show. That's from like weeks ago. Oh, I don't even remember that at all. Oh my goodness. I might not even watch it. I just might have like seen the first 4 seconds and be like, oh nope, this is going in the show.
That one's pretty awesome.
I've been listening to this podcast. I think it's a show or whatever too, YouTube or whatever, but it's you're probably familiar with Sam Tripoli.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a show doom scrolling, and it's basically like a randomizer thing of like, crazy conspiracy videos, that they play, and the wheel of doom, and it spins, picks a video and stuff. But it's good silly conspiracy show. But I think that's what they do. They just see like the first like 2 seconds of a video and go, yep, this is going on the wheel, put it in there, get it on. I used to listen to Tinfoil Hat back in the day, which I think he still does, but I'm not sure.
Speaking of doom scrolling, my daughter was on her phone the other day. I was like, I said, what are you doing? She said, doom scrolling. I said, oh, that reminds me of a meme that I'd seen. This is from it's the Lord of the Rings meme, and it's Sam. He says, are you doom scrolling again? Call him doom scrolling? Doom scrolling? Just because we have our phones out, you accuse us of doom scrolling? Fine. What are you scrolling then? Doom.
What else? What else are you gonna do? There is here we get some eye bleach here for the end of the show. Hold on, I can type. I saw this the other day, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's the most precious thing ever." Do you guys have ducks?
Yes, we do. Do you have ducks?
Let's see. We have a couple ducks.
Are they mean as fuck?
No. We just have a couple of them. They're sweet. Now the boy duck, you got to watch him. He will get a little rapey with some of the chickens. They are a very rapacious animal.
Yes.
Ours
are all just assholes, like straight up assholes, nonstop assholes.
Well, I thought we were friends, and not one of yous. Not one of yous told me that there is a duck fashion show in Sydney, Australia. An annual duck fashion show called the Pied Piper Duck Show. Each fowl member receives 3 outfits, 1 for day, 1 for evening, and 1 for wedding. Let's look at some of the looks. The majesty. The spectacle. The hats. The wee matching hats. You guys, I don't know how. I've never really done crowdfunding before, but we need to get me to Sydney, Australia in April. This is what it's all been for.
Lord.
You know, I actually saw this other video with that chick this morning, and it was this prop for a Halloween costume for if you're doing Alien, you know, the movie Aliens with the thing that pops out of the chest. So it's a harness with the chest popper thing and then straps. And when you're, you know, this day and age and more perverted and seen way more stuff than we ever should be, and you just see that prop, you instantly assume that it is a strap-on. And you're like, oh my God, the physics, like how would that even get in a butt, you know? And then it turns out, oh, that's not what it is. It's supposed to strap to your chest, not your groin. Yeah. And then it makes, oh, of course. Why didn't I think of that first? Oh, it got me good. But then they did show there is a butt plug with the thing popping out of it, which is then hilarious because then you think that's just coming out of the butt instead. And that makes more sense. Because there has to be a butt plug version of everything now. There's a.
I don't know why though. Why does there need to be a butt plug version of literally everything?
I hope they're just for novelty purposes and people aren't using them, like the taco holder butt plug and stuff. Like you shouldn't be eating there. That's. I'm not a prude or a germaphobe, but you shouldn't be eating that close to a butt in either sense. Unless you're eating the butt itself, and even then, I'm not. That's not. That's I got to be pretty drunk on tequila for that. That's not an every weekend thing, you know.
Dag only eats ass on special occasions.
Hey, your birthday and New Year's, baby. Nowhere close to that frequent either. I am surprised with the young kids. They do seem to be like that's more of just a regular first date kind of thing.
Like, what the fuck? I'm almost 42 years old and never once have I even considered it. Like, what? You don't eat ass? Like, why? Why is that even a consideration? Like, I don't even like pork butt. What are you talking about? Actually, I do.
So, there's this old saying back when I was younger, and because I remember saying to an older gentleman, "Oh man, I'd never do that. You know, I'd never eat ass, as they say." And he goes, "Look, son, you lick her in the balloon knot, she'll love you forever." And
the balloon
it didn't make much sense back then. It doesn't make much sense now. But I still feel like there's a nugget of wisdom in there somewhere. Hey man, I'm sure the right gal, you know, who's into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm sure the right one is probably into that sort of thing. I don't know about the right one for me, but
yeah, I mean, you know, just I mean, there's a girl that would match to, you know, that's all.
I mean,
hey, we do not kink shame on this show, Justin.
That's right. There's a guy out there who that's all he wants to do, and he's just looking for her.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh man, that's good. I'm glad that my brain decided to use the word nugget. Never mind, I'm not going to say what I was about to.
There's a certain point where we cross the line from being funny to just being retarded.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.